Hi, I am Claire Chubbuck, and I am a teacher of the Chubbuck Technique in Los Angeles, California.
My name is Aleksandar Popovic. I have been teaching at Ivana since 2020, so for about 5 years now, and I've been studying with her for over 15 years.
We were invited here. Was very interesting to me about working with Korean students is how good Korean storytelling is and the acting that goes along with it.
What separates Ivana's technique from the other techniques through the use of personalization, not through imagination, but by using personal life experiences and personal traumas. We're taking those traumas and we're turning them into fuel in order to accomplish an objective.
So almost every acting technique requires you to make choices for your character because the things that are said are just the tip of the iceberg of the human experience. And often actors tend to make choices that have their characters be victims of the situation instead of your character finding a solution.
Heartbreaks and traumas and mistakes and embarrassments and shame and guilt that I have in my life, and I've turned it into my art. So I'm no longer a victim of these traumas. I'm turning them into art and I'm creating prosperity in my life, and I am earning a living and doing what I love to do because of those traumas, not in spite of those traumas. So we're turning it on its head, and that's really the fundamental core of the technique, that we're not just sitting in the bad stuff. We're turning that bad stuff into our art.
The Koreans use their values, like their morality, in their work, but they don't shy away from the pain.
I'm here to take the events that you've been through in your life, I'm here to take those events and turn them into your art. I don't know how to fix them in real life. I'm still trying to figure out how to fix my real life anyway, but I know how to put it in my acting, and that's all we teach, right? So you remind the students that we're doing it for the acting. This is for something you want to do. And remember, everybody's a volunteer. Nobody got forced to be in acting school. Everybody decided to be here, so there's going to be challenges.
Challenges are unique to each actor, but if I were to lump them together, being okay with being vulnerable and admitting that there are hardships in life, that seemed to be something that was common for a group of the actors, but they fought through it. They fought through it, and the beautiful part about fighting through it is you would see after, like a group of other students would gather around them like, oh my gosh, me too, I've been through the exact same thing. And that's the whole point of storytelling. Like that's why we tell stories, is to help people deal with their lives, because life is hard.
The idea of result-oriented acting is probably the biggest trap. And we all fall into it. Probably every actor has to act it, and I'm talking about from our students here to me to Denzel Washington and everybody in between. I think they're all actively working on getting out of unconscious need to hit a result. I know this is an angry scene, and if I could only yell in this way, if I could only be crying while I'm yelling, oh man, that would be so powerful. But what we find is, as much as you think that that's a really genius and original idea, it's predictable. So the natural step, I think the growth of an actor is they learn how to use their emotions. They can't help but indulge in it. But then you have to get them to the next phase, which is that we use the emotions as fuel to win something, to achieve something, to get something from our scene partner, from whatever's happening in the movie. So the emotions end up becoming fuel, but it's not the end result. I think that's the biggest trap.
They're learning real stuff that doesn't shy away from what's actually going to make someone an important actor that is relatable. And so some of these things are like, we were having frank, real talks about sexuality, and a lot of schools shy away from that. And we were talking about death. We were talking about unpleasant things. We were talking about what's it like to lose your virginity. That's a traumatic experience. And most schools won't share that with you, but if you look at the material that you are going to be in as an actor, it's going to deal with hard stuff. So if you are not learning this as part of your training, you're not actually learning to be an actor, you're learning how to play make-believe.
We're acting with people. There's filmmakers, writers. We're all working all together. So we can't do this alone, which means you don't have to suffer alone. But if you book something, it tells me that it's possible because we grew up together, so we studied together. So I know you're not infinitely better than me. You're a great actor, but I'm also a good actor. So if it's possible for you, it's possible for me. So it takes the jealousy out of it and adds in it gives us all hope. And we need hope. Just like what we're doing, expressing, creating hope through our characters, we need to keep hope with each other. And I think keeping this community, I was talking to some of the students, I'm like, I hope you guys are actually friends and not just together now. You guys should be friends forever. As long as you're acting, because that becomes very challenging in a business where you're not always working. So if you have a community, it feels a little bit lighter.
I hope that everyone that was in it this year advances naturally based on the information that we had from this, so that we can take it to the next level next time. We just started scratching the surface of opening up why things are important to them, what changes that they would want to make in their life, because an important part about Chubbuck Technique is using this as art. It's art to make your life better. This is not play, pretend, make believe. This is an artistic endeavor.